Are you a carnivore? Then stick around. This 3-pound Porterhouse is one for the ages. Let's go. Let's get these tumbleweeds lit. Now you're just going to place your lump charcoal right over it to catch fire, and we'll be ready to start cooking. All right, our coals are good and hot. Let's get them dumped out, set up for 2-zone grilling, and let's get ready to put a T-bone on, or should I say porterhouse. All right, now that I've got all my coals dumped in, I'm going to go ahead and add a little more on top and let those get hot while we season our steak. All right, the first thing that we want to do to our 3-pound Porterhouse steak, you can see this thing is huge. I went this morning to Kroger, had them cut it extra special for a big boy lunch. So the only thing that I'm going to do is take some of my beef rub here and some garlic butter and season it up. Now don't be scared to apply rub real generously to this thing, because this is such a big cut of meat. Some of your rub's going to come off. And I promise you're going to want a bite of that crust on every bite you take. My steak rub here, or my beef rub, should I say, I use it on all cuts of beef. It's got heavy notes of pepper, salt, paprika, onion, garlic, chili powder. It's got a little something for everybody in it. And of course, it brings the heat and the flavor. So once you get that beef rub all labeled on there, I'm going to take and set to the side. I'm going to pick up my old trusty garlic butter. You can't go wrong with garlic butter. It creates another layer of flavor on top of this. It's going to be incredible on this big steak. Now we're cooking this today on our Weber, just 22-inch. You know, laying it out there, just old school. We're going to get a sear on it, get a crust, move it to one side, and let it go. So you can also see that I've got a stick of unsalted butter. I've got some thyme and rosemary in here tied up, and a little bit of garlic cloves in here. We're going to get that on after our steak gets a good crust on it, move over, start simmering down with some brown butter, and we're going to start basting this steak as it cooks with this brown butter. Now, generally, I'm going to let this steak cook for about 2 to 3 minutes aside, and I'm going to flip it. All right, it's been a couple minutes. Let's get in here and flip this steak and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, we've got some nice, good grill marks started on there, some nice crust forming. Got a little bit of sizzle going on. Let's get the grill lid shut and let it keep going for another couple minutes. All right, let's get in here and check this side now. Oh yeah, we got some nice color going there. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna take this steak here. You see it's got some nice color to it, some nice char there. Now you can either leave it over that fire or you could come and move it over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my probe, and I'm going to probe in the center part of this steak here. And you can see where I want to go. I'm going to take my probe to about the middle, so I'm going to run it all the way up just like that. Dead in the center there. And so when I do that, I'm going to lay this steak, I want the fillet away from the fire, and I'm going to lay that point back toward the fire there. Not really point, but that bone kind of angle. That way that bone is protected from that fire getting over toward that steak. Now we can let this thing finish off here. I'm going to get the grill lid on and let it go. I want to take my chef's alarms here, and I'm going to set this thing to about 100 and let's go 105 degrees. And the reason I'm doing that, I want to get my butter on here and garlic and herbs to melt. Once that gets to about that degree there, then we can start basting that steak. So remember, we're only going to cook that steak to about 125, 128, something there is all I want to cook it to. Let's get this butter on, this garlic. I'm going to get that set on right here and let it start melting. You can see our steak looks great. So you can imagine, once this butter and garlic starts melting together and it starts roasting together and we start basting that steak, it's going to be great. So we're going to move that right over that fire and let it get melted and let it get going. All right, our steak is setting at 118 degrees. You can see that our garlic and butter over here is melting. Got this herbs and all just sizzling away. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this right here and just pat that with a little bit of butter. You can't go wrong with that. Now, let's flip this steak over. Let's baste this bottom side too. Now, let's get this grill lid shut. Let this baby keep working away. I'm gonna say that steak is gonna be really good when it's said and done. You can hear that alarm going off, which only means one thing, that this steak is finished. I'm gonna go ahead and get that alarm out, but I am gonna take a little bit more of that butter here and kind of baste on that steak all around it here real good before we take it up and put it on the plate. Oh yeah, listen to that sizzle and pop. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's take a little bit of this right here and kind of dampen that up there and put a little bit more of that herb, butter, garlic flavor on there. That's what we're looking for. Oh yeah. Get them stems off there. All right guys, just to recap here, our steak has been off resting for about 15 minutes. We took this 3-pound Porterhouse, we seasoned it with our beef rub really heavy and our garlic butter. We added a stick of butter, about 8 or 10 cloves of garlic, fresh, some thyme and some rosemary. We let that melt after that steak went on our Weber over royal oak charcoal at about 550 degrees. We got a good sear on it. We flipped it over, put it over on the cool side, let it go, and after that butter started melting, we started basting our steak with that garlic and those herbs and those blends. You will see that this steak turned out absolutely phenomenal. We used our chef's alarm on it. We set it to 128, 29 degrees, pulled it off when it got done, got it out, let it rest. Let's slice in this thing and see what it's all about. Now, the reason I put this on a plate instead of tossing it on the cutting board, you always want to save those juices. You know they're good. So, first thing I want to do here, let's come in here and trim this strip off of this bone. All right, there's the strip side. Let's get this fillet. All right, let's slice her down and see how we done. Oh yeah, that steak's got some color to it. The strip side did get about medium here. Let's cut this fillet up here and see how we done on it. Oh, y'all ought to feel how tender and smooth like butter this thing is. It's feeling good. Oh yeah. Fillet there's a good medium color. Look at that nice pull on it. Color's good. The taste. Man, that's got a good herby, beefy flavor to that. Now that we've got our porterhouse cut up, it's gonna be time to eat. So let's get a baked potato and go to town. Now this is enough to share with your friends, but it's totally up to you if you think you can tackle it. I know I can't do it, I'm not gonna lie. There's one thing left to do though. I'm gonna take some of these juices here on this plate, and if you're not pouring a little bit of juice over your steak, then what kind of cook are you? So remember, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Pinterest, and of course YouTube. I'll see you next week with another video.